Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. This video is brought to you by SeatGeek, so if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, doesn't have to be related to wrestling, use code Hodge on SeatGeek and save yourselves $20 freaking off your tickets. First time orders only, so if you used SeatGeek before, make a new account and you can use my code anyway. We're gonna kick this off with the first news story of the day. So the first news story of the day is about some WWE releases. So they released like a few NXT wrestlers and stuff like that, and apparently they were just like Triple H's people or whatever, and I don't know why they're just trying to erase everything Triple H did and all of his work he did for NXT, because NXT was great when he was running it. But anyway, let's go ahead and say about the like two major names that were released out of this, and that is Road Dogg. He was working backstage as a producer on the main roster, and then as for NXT, you got William Regal. William Regal, one of the greatest minds in the wrestling business ever, like ever. And now he's gone. He's fired. So they fired. I guess they're gonna cite budget cuts or something for this. It is just really, really stupid. I mean, William Regal, you could have kept the guy around for some reason. I mean, his mind is just great. I mean, it's good to have a guy like that around who knows is like a genius in the wrestling. But what the hell are you thinking firing William Regal? Anyway, William Regal, Road Dogg, and actually a bunch of NXT wrestlers, and also some more backstage people have been released. It's just like been a mess of people in the past like year and a half of them just citing budget cuts or whatever reason they want just to fire whoever they want just because they don't want to pay them anymore. All right, the next news story is going to be about Goldberg. So Goldberg, here's the deal. Where's he at? What's he doing? Is he having more matches? Well, Goldberg still has a contract with the WWE, obviously, and actually on that contract, he has one more match. So we have one more match guaranteed at least with Goldberg. If I had to guess, I would say they're probably going to do it at WrestleMania. That would be my guess. I don't know if he's going to return in the Rumble or something, but he has one more match, so the Rumble would count for a match. So we'll see. Goldberg said they might be extending his deal, and I have a feeling Goldberg's just going to be like someone who's just going to wrestle as long as he possibly can without, you know, any issues or whatever like that. So Goldberg's going to keep going, and they're going to keep throwing like different dates at him and more matches. So we'll see what happens. But as far as this contract, his current contract he has, there's only one match left on. I would say it's going to be at WrestleMania, but that one match will be happening sometime in the near future. Alright, and this will actually be the final news. We're jumping into some rumors. This one is about our tribal chief. Acknowledge him, because I am talking about none other than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. So I have great news about Roman Reigns if you haven't heard already. Roman Reigns is medically cleared. He tested negative, I guess, today. So Roman Reigns is clear, and actually what this means, and they've already announced this is happening, is Roman Reigns will be returning to SmackDown Live tomorrow night. So Roman Reigns' return will be tomorrow night. And get this, they're even going one step further. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, we're going to have a face-to-face confrontation with the brand new WWE Champion Brock Lesnar and our Tribal Chief and Universal Champion Roman Reigns face-to-face on SmackDown. So it's going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen there. But it's great news to say that Reigns is cleared now. He's tested negative. He's all good. He's no longer sick. It's just absolutely wonderful news. I know a lot of people are concerned about Reigns due to, you know, the guy did have cancer and had to go through treatment, and he has a compromised immune system, so it was worrying a lot of people, but he had absolutely no problem with it, and he's medically cleared, and he's tested negative, and he's going to be returning tomorrow night, face-to-face, Tribal Chief, Beast Incarnate, face-to-face on SmackDown. I absolutely cannot wait. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually the only confirmed news story I said to talk to you guys about today. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Get your juice boxes out, get your juice box ready, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, the first rumor of the day is going to be about Miss Sasha Banks. In the last news episode, we talked about Sasha Banks may be injured, but she said on social media she's not injured and she's okay. It actually came out what happened, so some people were like, she tore her ACL, she tore this, she tore that, she broke her leg, she broke her ankle. It just looked kind of nasty. There was, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's this like weird house show spot with her and Charlotte. Charlotte kind of lands a little off, and it gets her like leg caught up with Sasha's, kind of, it's just a weird landing. You have to look at it to see what I'm talking about. But basically, Sasha Banks has a sprained leg. So it's kind of just like a little sore. It's going to be a little while, maybe a week or two until it's feeling like 100% back to normal. But Sasha is going to be okay. No surgeries, no tears, no breaks, nothing like that. She's going to be absolutely all right. And the next rumor is about another women's wrestler. It's about Carmella. So Carmella has apparently been working through an injury of her own. It's an undisclosed injury. We don't know what it is, but basically, she's working on it. I don't know how uncomfortable it is, but hopefully it's something that can kind of work itself out, or maybe one of those nasty injuries that just won't go away unless you just rest on it. But she's doing what she can with having the injury, and hopefully she's being smart about it as well. But apparently, Carmella is also working through some type of injury. Alright, the next rumor is about Fox, actually the Fox network. So apparently an executive for Fox has said this, like someone very high up at Fox, said that when WWE and Fox originally reached the deal for SmackDown to go on Fox, WWE didn't approach them on a basis of like paying for the show or whatever to be on the network. What they actually approached them for was for them to buy the entire product. Now, I don't know if they're talking about like buying the entire WWE or just buying like the licensing rights of SmackDown, but whatever the case may be, Fox executives said that the WWE, they were just asking like an astronomical, like high amount of money. It was just way too much to justify it to the Fox, like very high up people, and it just didn't happen. So they just I don't know what they do. They have a licensing deal to have it air there, but they wanted to like buy it to own SmackDown like forever or whatever, and Fox didn't want to do that. Or maybe they're talking about buying the entire WWE. I don't think so. I think they were just talking about like having SmackDown forever, but they just didn't want to do that, so they're doing like these contracts for the show or whatever. Alright, ladies, so the next rumor. The next rumor is going to be about Alexa Bliss. So if you guys have not heard, Alexa Bliss is returning. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Alexa Bliss has been missing for a little while. Hopefully most people have noticed. I guess Extreme Rules was the last time we saw her or something like that. When was Extreme Rules? I don't know what. Last year they totally jacked up the pay-per-view schedule. Like normally I would say, oh, Extreme Rules, it's always in May. But no, Extreme Rules is like in a very weird time. Or whatever, but basically Alexa had like a meltdown or whatever. She got Lily tore to shreds or whatever, and everyone just assumed, Alexa would go away. She would come back as the goddess. She wouldn't have this like, what do you even want to call it, the horror movie like gimmick where she's like has this doll, this evil doll or whatever. It's like an Annabelle like knockoff or something, and they just thought like, Alexa would go away and she'd come back as the goddess or whatever, and they would just pass. Like get that like out of the way or whatever, because the Alexa Bliss like whole doll gimmick, it was just kind of like a run off the Fiend thing. But if you guys don't know, hopefully everyone knows. Everyone should have noticed by now. The Fiend has been fired. Bray Wyatt's been fired by the WWE. So why are they keeping Alexa doing this gimmick? It doesn't make much sense. And what am I getting at here? Well, the rumor is that no, Alexa isn't dropping the gimmick and coming back as the goddess. She's coming back with the doll gimmick again. I get Lily is very successful, especially with very, I don't know, I see like a lot of young girls and young kids really attach themselves to this gimmick for some reason. And the Lily doll is like the most well-sold item in the entire merch stand when you go to a WWE show. Probably, it could be the most well-sold item on the entire WWE shop website. We're excluding, like top, like Roman Reigns shirts and stuff like that. Like, it could be one of the very top-selling things. It's just very popular, and kids really attach themselves to this Lily gimmick for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. It's interesting. They all want to be like Alexa. They all want to have a Lily of their own. So it's very interesting, but apparently Alexa is not coming back as the goddess. She's keeping this Lily thing going. I guess they're having some success with it. They're seeing that, and they just don't want to throw away that success. So yeah, Alexa Bliss, as of right now, looks like she's coming back with a Lily gimmick, but we will just have to wait and see. It could definitely change. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the fun news. So the final thing I'll be talking about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. So this is about day one. I'm actually wearing the shirt because I was there. If you guys don't know, I was at day one. If you haven't seen the vlog, definitely go check it out. But basically, the main event of day one obviously got changed. Again, well, I guess the actual main event got canceled because Reigns couldn't wrestle, so they threw Lesnar into the Fatal 5-Way. Lesnar surprised the world and actually won the title. But what was the plan before that? Well, there was a lot of debate about that. Before, the rumor last time we did a news episode was Biggie was supposed to retain the championship, but apparently no, that wasn't the plan. The plan was actually Seth Rollins to win the championship. Seth Rollins was supposed to be the WWE champion right now if, things didn't happen the way they did. Or maybe Big E would be champion. It's a kind of a debatable thing. I don't know what the actual plan was. They were probably talking about doing multiple things. They just never really decided on anything. Normally, day of the show is when you know exactly what's happening because it can change on a dime in the WWE. but it could have went either way. But the ultimate result, Brock is not supposed to be WWE champion right now. So it's very, very confusing what they're doing. Brock's going to have to drop the title before WrestleMania, because the rumor's saying that, it's going to be Reigns, Lesnar, WrestleMania. Lesnar will not be going in as WWE champion. So it's confusing what they're doing. The title could literally go on anyone at this point, and I have absolutely no idea. It could be Lashley, could be someone else. They could do, I don't know, even know if they're doing Elimination Chamber. They could change the chamber. Who knows what's happening by WrestleMania time. Everything's up there. Everything's confusing, and it's driving my brain absolutely crazy, but I love it at the same time. So there you guys have. That's actually going to do it for this episode of WWE News Rumors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Right now on screen, I'm going to leave a link to 2 previous videos for you guys to check out, as well as the vlogs on there, as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys happen to be brand new here. But I am Brandon Hodge, your king of vlog style, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.